So it has definitely been a little while since we talked about new gear on this YouTube channel, and today I am super excited to show you something that I think is really unique and can take your videos to the next level. So this thing right here is the Edelkrone SliderPLUS Pro long version, and because this video is sponsored by Edelkrone, I will be giving away one of these sliders to one of you guys. So feel free to turn on notifications if that is something you're interested in. Now with Edelkrone, their products will generally fall into the premium gear or fancy equipment category, meaning that their products are not cheap. These are high quality products that will last you a long time, and they perform at a level that reflects the price point. But something I've always really enjoyed about Edelkrone products is that they are modular, so you don't need a whole ton of stuff to get started and make it work. You can begin with a basic product like a slider and then add things further down the line if you choose to. But let's go ahead and dive right in here and see what this thing is all about and how it works. On the back of the slider here, there's a little switch to unlock it, and this lets you move your camera freely and slide it back and forth. And on each corner of the slider here, we have these little legs that you can flip out. So if you need some clearance underneath the slider, or if you're on some kind of terrain that's uneven, this is going to be very helpful for that kind of thing. Now this slider is not just any ordinary old slider. It's actually very unique because when you put it on a tripod and you start to move the camera back and forth, you will notice that the actual track of the slider moves back and forth with the camera. And what this does is it effectively makes the range of motion you get out of your slide double the actual length of the slider itself. Now, an advantage of this is of course portability, because the range of motion you're getting out of the slider is much bigger than the actual slider itself. But another huge advantage of this feature is that when you're doing these push in and pull out motions, you're not going to get as much interference from the track of the slider being in your shot, because it's actually moving in with the camera. Now, I mentioned before that Edelkrone products are modular, and as great as this slider is on its own, we can add a whole bunch of things to it that would take it to the next level and make it an absolute beast. So what we've got right here is a whole bunch of things that turn this manual slider into a crazy motorized contraption, starting with this piece right here, the slide module. When we attach the slide module, we can wirelessly control our slides back and forth with a variety of customizable speed settings using the Edelkrone app on a smartphone. Now, if we add in the head module, we can also program in some pans in conjunction with our slides to get some really neat looking parallax effects. Now, if we want to step things up a little bit more, we can go with the HeadPLUS, which, like the Head 1, can control the camera's panning motion, but also the tilt axis. But if we want to take things even further, we can also add the focus module to the HeadPLUS, and if we're using a manual focus lens, we can pre-program our focus points to get ultra sharp shots while still achieving that dynamic camera movement. Now, if you don't have any manual focus lenses, don't worry, because you can still use the focus module with a zoom lens to pull off some really dramatic looking zooming, parallax, and vertigo style shots. Big shout out to Gene, aka Potato Jet, for that really neat little idea. Now, all of this stuff is obviously really cool and allows you to get some really creative and unique looking footage, but if I could only get one add-on for this slider, it would be the Flex Tilt Head. The Flex Tilt Head lets you manipulate your camera's position in a whole bunch of really unique ways that you can't achieve with a regular tripod head. For example, I was trying to get a really low angle close to the surface of my coffee table using my new probe lens, and with the Flex Tilt Head, I could actually flip the camera upside down and have it hanging next to the slider to get it as close to that table as possible. All I had to do was simply rotate the footage in post, and I had myself a great shot that I otherwise would have had a lot of difficulty achieving if it weren't for the Flex Tilt Head. Now, the Edelkrone app is super intuitive and easy to use. You could go as straightforward as manually controlling your slides from the app, or you could preset key positions and loop your slides back and forth. That includes everything from your slides to your pan, tilt, and focus. But there's also something called target mode, where you can program the slider and HeadPLUS to remember where objects are in the frame. So for instance, I've set a target to these Allen keys sitting on my desk and another target on my camera. And now when I have the camera doing a slide from one side to the other, I should be able to manually select which target I want the camera to point at. So let's start with our Allen keys. We're gonna start our slide, and about halfway through, we will switch over to the other target, which is the camera. And this is one of the features that I think really separates Edelkrone from the competition. Really unique stuff. But that is it for this little overview of the Edelkrone SliderPLUS Pro. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, I'm giving one of these away, so feel free to join the notification squad if that's something you're interested in. I actually plan on using all of this gear for a client shoot I'm doing tomorrow for a pizza place. It's possible that the footage from that shoot, which I haven't yet shot, is sprinkled throughout this video you just watched, but I don't really know yet. Follow me on Instagram at daniel.schiffer and stay tuned for a full behind the scenes of that commercial I'm about to shoot. There's gonna be pizza, it's gonna be fun. I'll see you guys in the next one. That rhymed.